Welcome, J Fusion fans. This is Philip, and it's actually been a long time since I last did a character review, and so I decided that it's finally time to talk about Sougo Tokiwa, Kamen Rider Zio. And for Kamen Rider Zio slash Sougo, I want to talk about the following. So, first is his history. Uh, Two, why he is ZO3, the possible direction that we'll be going from this point forward. Now, since we're just about 10 episodes into the show, it's this is kind of like an early look into him, see what his character is so far. And yeah, like I said in the third part, we're going to just maybe speculate some things that are going to happen in future episodes or probably in movies that are coming soon, especially. So, anyways, for Sogo's history, we know that he starts out as a normal high school student who was living with his uncle. Now, as far as his other family members are concerned, whether he has parents or not, that's not yet said. There's nothing said about that as of late. Maybe we get some more information on his other family members, hopefully in the near future, or maybe Toei would probably leave it that way. But I guess that's rather small detail that we can just leave out, I guess. Yeah. Now, as far as Sogo's personality is concerned, he seems to be a happy-go-lucky teenager. Uh, Tsukuyomi states that he is good in history subjects, but probably bad at everything else. She states that he is bad at math, rather abysmal, she says, in the first episode. But something about Sogo shown in the first episode is that he probably has some sort of charisma. When they travel back to Edo period Tokyo, they we see this charisma play out when Sogo was able to stop two men from fighting because he fell off a bridge and into a river. And it's funny, uh, people were laughing at him and such, but he got those two men to reconcile immediately, which was kind of his goal, really. It didn't turn out like he planned, but in the end, it was okay. So, yeah, and people sometimes, tend to gravitate to him. I mean, uh, when he was in Amanogawa High School during the Forze Phase arc, uh, he naturally bonded with some of the students who were in the Kamen Rider Club, and also Osugi Sensei kind of saw him as Gentaro in a way. And yeah, I think that's some more proof of his charisma. But uh, other than that, Sogo seems to be generally a good guy. He's not really that like kind of a aggressive type. Like that's more of a Gates department, but he's definitely one who would try his best to help out when necessary, at least when he thinks is necessary. You know, uh, but he also has a tendency to observe things first. That's a bit more notable in like the wizard arc when he didn't try to defeat the another wizard because Sogo thinks that he's still pretty much a good guy. He does have wizard's powers, but as far as concerned, uh, that another wizard wasn't really doing anything bad until the time jackers did their stuff, and that guy eventually used the powers of Kamen Rider Wizard to harm people, which of course at first Gates objected vehemently. He really thinks that the mere existence of the another Kamen Riders is very much a threat on its own, and he was kind of right about that. But Sogo wants to look at things from a different perspective, you know. But yeah, but generally, he's a good guy, as far as we see. And now, one thing I noticed in episode 9, he suddenly improved in terms of fighting ability. For the better part of the early episodes, he was rather reliant on the powers of Kamen Riders to, get away from situations, to solve the problems of that episode. But uh, what we see in episode 9 is that he became quite skilled to the point that he was actually able to beat the more experienced fighter, which is Gates. So, yeah, for that episode, we do see that sudden change in skill because, as far as I remember, episode 1, he was rather surprised at things happening. Probably he got used to it. So what I see here is there are possibly two things. Like number one, Sogo is a naturally talented fighter, or two, he is a quick learner. Now we don't see any footage or any image of Sogo, training for battle. Uh, we don't see any proof that he has prior fighting experience, or like if he had any sort of martial arts training at all. We don't see that. We just see him fight as Zio for most of the time, all the time really. But yeah, during episode 9, we do see a sudden improvement in his skills. Again, uh, taking us to those two possibilities that he is a natural born fighter, like without training, he can just, throw a punch and, hit someone or something like that. Or two, he's a quick learner and he is quick to adapt to situations. I'm kind of more inclining to the latter. So for the next part, really, I'm actually thinking of Sogo. Well, we know from episode 1, it was already established that he is going to become the Omazio. Now, here's where I think this video gets interesting. Now, we do know that Omazio is Sogo 50 years from now. So, in the upcoming movie next year, hopefully we do see a conclusion. Like I do see that the climactic battle is between Sogo and his later self. We do see that Gates and Tsukuyomi were trying to stop that from happening in the first place, as seen in the first episode. But working with the Sogo up to this point, they probably have changed their minds. Tsukuyomi probably has, but Gates still has his own doubts. Now, we also have Woz trying to, mysteriously help out Sogo whenever, wherever. But what I see with Woz is he's probably trying to mold Sogo into that Omazio. So it may have been through Waz's influence, or yeah, because it's what I'm seeing at this point. But again, this is all just speculation for now. So maybe some other event would cause Sogo to become Omazio, or maybe it is because of Waz. We don't know yet. So we're gonna have to watch, uh, further before we actually find out what happens. But right now, as far as I'm concerned, uh, Gates and Tsukuyomi are trying to get uh, Sogo onto the right path. Uh, at least they're trying to make sure that Sogo makes good on his word, because Sogo himself has said, after learning about the story of Omazio, that he vows to become a good overlord. Uh, Again, that's for future episodes. Probably the summer movie next year. Yeah, uh, that's how I see it. So, anyways, guys, I think that's all for Sogo's character review as of the moment. So, I am interested to see his development. He did kind of start out as plain boring, in my opinion, but yeah, his character is becoming interesting thanks to the people around him and the interactions that he's having with the other legend writers and the other characters from past seasons. So, yeah, I'm very excited to see all these developments in the future. So, anyways, thank you so much for watching, guys. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you get updated on the latest from JE Fusion. Again, this has been Philip. Thanks for watching. Bye.